So welcome to the viewers of Dataquest. And as you know that this time the Dataquest Path-breaker of the year 2023 is Fractal Analytics. And to discuss with that, we have with us Srikanth Velamakanni, co-founder, group chief executive and vice chairman of Fractal Analytics. Welcome Srikanth, and congratulations on winning this award.
Thank you, Sunil, and grateful to be in the position to receive this award.
Yeah. So actually, I think you as a company are more than 20 years old. So you've had a pretty long journey from the inception to the present day. I mean, a lot has happened in India, the smartphone revolution, pandemic, all that. So can you just talk about the journey that Fractal has taken from the inception to the present day?
Sure. We started in 2000. So this was the peak of the dot-com bubble.
Right.
And we were at the literally the end, the final few months of the bubble we got. And the initial idea of Fractal was not even to be an AI firm. It was about helping consumers make better decisions on what they buy. But as soon as we sort of figured out, we moved to the idea of helping companies make better decisions with data. Right? Really, that's the pivot we took. We knew we were really good at math and psychology and human behavior, and what we thought was that if we could help companies make better decisions with their data, it would be big. The math, the psychology, and the decision making was something that we knew that we could help companies with. It was that we didn't know how to make money with this kind of a business model. We were the first analytics company of its kind anywhere in the world. So there is a price to be paid for being ahead of the curve. And we had some very good clients who came and gave us very interesting problems. We started with automating credit lending for a bank. For ICICI, we built their first statistical scorecard. This is the first scorecard anybody used in India to drive decision making on credit. So who to accept as a customer, who not to accept as a customer, and give them a loan within first 30 minutes, right, of application. That was very revolutionary for 2000. Then we worked with Unilever in figuring out how to deal with the 2001 recession and what kind of offers resonate with what kind of customers, and how to really bring in the science of data into the decision making of Unilever. That was very, very interesting as well. So these kinds of experiences, really, we cut our teeth with them. And then soon analytics became more and more interesting. The idea throughout was, can we predict, and can we use that predictions to help companies make decisions? Now, the field of AI and analytics has itself been evolving. And so when we started out, neural networks were not fashionable. And when we brought in neural networks to any conversation, they would say, hey, these are not explainable, they're black box, they don't work very well, etc. And it was true, because for any data set which is less than 1 million rows in observations, maybe neural networks don't provide incrementality and they're harder to implement. And those neural networks of those age were not very deep neural networks. So we went to more classical statistical learning techniques like logistic regression and decision trees and random forests and so on. And we use those algorithms to help companies make decisions. Now, by mid 2000s to late 2000s, AI started to really pick up, especially in speech processing, computer vision. You started seeing from 2010 onwards some amazing results. So Fractal moved along with that, and we started looking at unstructured data and not just structured data. Earlier, we used to look at everything in rows and columns. That was structured data. Unstructured data is like text, video, voice, images. And we started using that. And big companies started to also leverage them. We started making presentations to boards of companies. And now here we also pivoted to serving only the very big companies, big Fortune 100 size companies. So we call this as 10, 20, 30. 10 billion in revenue, 20 billion in market cap, or serving 30 million consumers. And that kind of audience of clarity on which clients to serve and who not to serve, and therefore the markets also, which meant mostly North America, helped us in building a really solid business between the 2010 and 2015, 2016. And by 2016, really AI took off across a whole range of industries, a whole range of countries. And by the pandemic, AI had taken off. And finally, we had the chat GPT moment in 2022, which has really exploded everything. So we have seen the AI world move, and we have been sort of at the forefront of it or leading it, or over the last 23 years of building Fractal.
So, I mean, that's been quite an exciting journey where you have seen many phases. But obviously, I'll be interested in the last couple of years. I mean, they have been particularly exciting with the advent of Gen AI. Can you talk about how you have changed as a company after that and what the road ahead is in the era
Yeah,
of Gen AI?
yeah. Gen AI is quite fundamental in the way it is shaping the world. It is just another addition to the AI wave. But this time, the intelligence is so much stronger and better, and it's so much more all encompassing that it's going to affect the world in three significant ways. Number one, it's going to change productivity. Everything can be done faster, better, cheaper, with fewer people, fewer resources. So productivity really goes up quite dramatically. So writing code, for example, you can do it in half the time, or many examples. If you want to service customers and you handle customer operations calls with AI, you could bring down the time required to handle a call by 20-30%. So these are productivity improvements. Second is intelligence explosion, right? Everything is becoming smarter, intelligent, more responsive, more personalized. So that is the thing about it being more and more intelligent in the way it comes through to us. So every product can become more intelligent. Our smartphones will become more intelligent, our refrigerators will be more intelligent, and so on. That also is being led by the generative AI wave. The third thing is all computing becomes more human like. So everything is conversational. You can ask a question, get an answer. You can have half baked thoughts. It will still give you a fully baked answer. So it's really good in that sense. It's very human like computing, very user friendly. So this is the way in which it is changing. And how Fractal has changed is to understand that this is so big. It's dramatically going to alter the world of work. It's going to how we work, how we serve our clients, what problems we'll solve. They all have evolved and expanded in this new wave. And as a company, we have realized that we have to be more and more deep. We have to spend more and more on R&D and build amazing products. So we launched something called as Kaleido.ai just a couple of weeks back, which is a free text to image conversion. We built our foundation models. Anybody in the world can go to Kaleido.ai and can create an image from scratch. We built MarshallGoldsmith.ai, which is an AI coach, which sort of gives you Marshall Goldsmith's wisdom as a coach. So these are the kinds of things we've created some more consumer facing aspects of Fractal's AI products. We're investing in research. We are deepening the talent bench because we need sharper and sharper talent in a world which is changing so fast. So that's really the kind of changes we have made. And the world of the kinds of problems we have solved has expanded quite dramatically.
So also like that's about Fractal and that's about the changes and all. Another thing I was curious is what are the industries that have changed the most and least with respect to AI? Because you have so many clients, you're dealing with so many verticals. So what do you see? Which are the industries that have changed the most and least?
We serve about 153 of the Fortune 500 size clients. So we have, and these are global. So we have a good view across industries, though not all industries. I think the big changes are happening in places where there is cognitive and repetitive work. Okay, anything that requires this, lot of brain work and it's sort of repetitive. That's really where AI is beginning to make a huge dent. So think of banking as an example. It's very cognitive in nature. It's very repetitive in nature. It's dramatically impacting the industry of banking. After the cognitive and repetitive, even the repetitive creative activities are also places where AI is beginning to make a difference. So you can create an image, you want to create a video, all these creative activities which were very expensive and require a lot of imagination of people. Now your imagination goes a longer way because you can translate your imagination into reality much more quickly using some of the AI tools. So really the creative industries like things like there's a law firms, legal industry, market research industries, advertising agencies, banking, insurance. These industries are all getting this cognitive repetitive kind of place, and they're getting much more productive. And some like advertising agencies and the world of art or the world of video making, these are the creative professions where also you're seeing significant impact of AI tools. both places it's augmenting. It's not really replacing humans, it's augmenting humans. But in the process, you need fewer hours, therefore fewer people.
Yeah. So finally, like I'd like to know, about India. So we have our, mission 2047 to be a tech superpower by 2047. And Gen AI is going to play a big role. So how do you think Gen AI and business will pan out in the next 5 to 10 years, and how India can capitalize it? I mean, are we ready? We are a digital country, digital public goods. We have engineers, but AI is a different ball game altogether.
That's true. India is a formidable country because we produce the world's talent today. If you take the view for the next 10 years, which country in the world is producing the talent for the world? India is the answer, only answer. Rest of the world is actually declining in terms of talent. Especially if you look at the developed countries, the G20 countries, net employment growth is negative. All the employment growth of the world is being supplied by India. So, and we are producing really, really good engineers, good scientists, etc. So, I think India's role as a talent provider to the world, I think is one of the reasons why we should be successful. Number two, I think India is now a formidably sized economy. It's the fastest growing economy of its size, right? It's by far at 8% or something. It's really growing nicely. And if we continue to grow at 8 to 10% for the next 20, 30 years, we'll be a very large economy. Now, how do we do that? How do we grow there? That we have to take this talent and we have to nurture this talent. We have to invest in technology and we have to spur entrepreneurship.
Right.
That's really the recipe. Because the talent per se, if generative AI is coming and saying, okay, you don't need that many people, talent could be a net negative unless we are able to harness this talent to create and imagine new stuff.
Yeah.
How can we do that? We can train everybody to use these AI tools.
Right.
We can create more entrepreneurs who can imagine new stuff and do it. So if we can
Yeah.
spur entrepreneurship, we can educate these people to use these AI tools, and we can invest more in the fundamental educations which brings out more expert problem solvers. So this is how I would sort of build this nation towards 2047. And I think it's education, it's entrepreneurship, and it's investment in technology. For example, in generative AI, we would want to set up the computing capacity for India so that people who have imagination, who have ideas, but don't have access to computing resources are able to access those GPUs, etc.
Yeah.
I would invest more in education, especially in skilling everybody on AI. I would invest there.
Yeah.
I'd also invest in AI use cases. Government is a big user of AI use cases.
Right.
Incentivize small companies, 50 crores, 100 crore companies to go and invest and actually serve the government and solve some amazing problems. If we do all of that, I think our path is cut out to play a very, very important role in the world economy by 2047.
Yeah. So I think that positive roadmap for the future is a good place to end. So I thank you very much for those incisive views, and congratulations once again to Fractal for winning the award.
Thank you, Sunil.